Hey everybody, WhySoWookie here. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Pubg Update 16.2. It's quite an exciting update and there's lots to go over. We'll jump right in a second. First off, just a little announcement. We've started the live streaming over on the WhySoWookie YouTube channel, and I've been really enjoying interacting with everybody who's popped in so far. Hope to see more of you in there. If you do want to know when we're going live, follow the WhySoWookie Twitter and it's always announced on there. Right, let's take a look at the update. So the first thing is the live maintenance schedule, where you get to know when we're going to be able to play it. So it's live on the PC test servers right now, and it will be until next week at March the 16th when it launches on the PC live servers. Consoles get it in the following week, and the live servers will go into maintenance on the 23rd over to the 24th, depending on your time zone. If you're in the UK like me, it'll be the 24th. Usually the server maintenance is finished at around dinner time, and then you can pop on and have a game when you're ready. Just over 2 weeks for us on console and 1 week for those on PC to hit the live servers. The first major change to the game is the new tactical equipment piece called the Tactical Pack, which is, for all intents and purposes, an add-on for your backpack. It takes one of your weapon slots, but you can fit any 4 items in it. So, for example, you could have 4 attachments in there for your mates. You can have spare helmet, spare vest. You can fit weapons in there. You could be a missile silo and have 4 Panzerfaust. It seems really powerful. Also, when you say you have a gun in there as well, you take it out, the gun comes out fully loaded as well if it went in fully loaded, and it'll have the same attachments on it as when you put it in as well, which is quite powerful in itself. It's going to be quite interesting, especially in squad play, because a lot of people don't take something like the Lynx AMR because you only have 10 shots and then you're down to no range weapon. Whereas something like this, you could just put your current K9 in your extended backpack, get your Lynx AMR and go from there. So I think it will have its place, but it does seem quite powerful and it may well get buffed in the future. And the only thing, one of the few things you can't put in a tactical pack is another tactical pack, and you also can't put tactical packs in the Porter vehicle over on Tego either. The stuff that's in the tactical pack is only accessible to the carrier, so if you're looting a guy that has a tactical pack, the only way to find out what's in it is to equip the tactical pack and then look at it manually. So when it comes to looting, if you're looting out in the middle of nowhere, that's going to make it even more of a precarious situation, because if you drop your weapon to do that, you might end up in a situation where you have to flee and you've left your weapon behind. So it's worth bearing that in mind. Overall, it seems like a quite a good addition, and we'll have to see how it plays out, but so far it's exciting and looks good. The next new piece of equipment is the Spotter Scope. So this one, it has the zoom in distance of a 4x scope, and it'll mark enemies for both you and your teammates. When you mark the enemies as well, if you're no longer looking at them with the spotter scope, they remain marked for like 7 seconds, so your teammates can see them, and then you can remark them after the fact. Now again, this is going to make it a lot easier for callouts and things like squads and duos. And again, this does take up a primary weapon slot, but now that we've got the tactical pack, you could have it as just one of the items in there, mark up a load of people, switch back to your gun and get shooting. So this is definitely going to be a good squad item. I think squads is probably where it's going to see the most use. Duos with only 2 of you, probably not as much, and solos, I mean, if you've seen them, you don't really need to mark it for yourself particularly. Another good advantage of this is it gives you the real-time range of the player. So if you're quite new to the game, you're struggling on your bullet drop distances, that'll give you a heads up of how many notches on your scope that you need to be looking at to hit your mark, which is quite good. It only tells you the distance up to 1 kilometre. Anything after that, it'll just display question marks. For us on console, I think players only render in between 600 and 800 meters anyway, so if you can see them, they're going to be within the kilometre more often than not. Sometimes in a vehicle it's a little bit further, but more often than not you'll be able to see them. If you can see them, you can see the distance, so that'll be good for you. You can even spot enemy drones. In all honesty, I've not really seen many enemy drones. It doesn't seem to get a lot of use, but now with the tactical pack, we might find that it is getting more use. When you look in with your spotter scope, it'll display players with a little white icon above them, and when you go over them with the proper scope, it'll go to red. The white ones your teammates can't see, the red ones they can. When you move off the player, the red will then display for 7 seconds, what your teammates can see. After that, it'll disappear. But for yourself, if you're still looking down it will still display as a white one as well. So it even helps you find the players as you're looking down it as well. Now, it remains to be seen how effective that's going to be with things like trees and bushes. Whether it will spot them through the bushes, that would be pretty useful. But we'll have to see. And again, the fact it takes up a weapon slot, you have to get it out, put it back and get your weapon out, kind of balances it out. But again, if you've got one person in a squad using that, not all of you has to be using it to take advantage of it. So I think again, squad play is where it's going to be the most effective. Next, they've made a bit of a change to the tactical drone. So now allied drones only display green lights and enemy drones only display red lights, whereas previously they both flashed with both. So I think there was some confusion of whose drone it was, so now it should be a lot easier. But again, I've not really seen much drone usage. The only time they've ever been used when I've been playing is flying them around your teammates to annoy them, which is pretty fun. I've seen a couple of clips where people have attached C4s to them and flown over to enemies and blown them up, and little cool plays like that. But most games you never see them at all, to be honest. But again, with the tactical packs they might get more usage, which is good. Next, they've added a little new training session thing to the training mode, and it's an aim and sound lab. Now, when you go into this, you can access it by going to any of the helicopter spots. You get given the option of which one you want to do. In the aim practice, you choose a starting weapon, and within 5 seconds, targets will start to appear. Throughout the training practice, you'll hit as many targets as you can, and then at the end it'll display how many headshots you got, how many total hits, and how many missed shots. So it'll be really good for getting your aim on. They'll jump up randomly as well, so you can keep repeating it, and it'll improve your reaction time with the game and control and stuff like that, which is good. The next one is sound practice. So you'll start out with a deagle and a red dot, and various sounds will ranging from 50 meters to 300 meters will be randomly played on targets. The weapon name and distance will appear, and then once you shoot the correct target, it'll fall back down, and another one will come up as well. So again, it's going to be good training for if you struggle to work out which direction gunshots are coming at. This might be a good one to help you out with that. I think for more experienced players, this one's not going to be as good because you kind of will have worked that out by now. But certainly the aiming one, even for experienced players, you can go a bit of a warm up, snapping on the targets. It'll be pretty good. Next is the map service schedule. So normal matches, we're going to have Arangel, Miramar, Tego, Karakin and Haven. So Sanhok is finally being removed from the game for a change, with it being replaced by Haven. Happy to see that Karakin has stayed as well, because I've been really enjoying Karakin while it's been back, which is really fun. And then on ranked, it's just Arangel, Miramar and Tego, as usual. For some different world decoration for the 5th anniversary of the game, there's been new banners and things, and the new menu screen has been updated. But they're also going to do separate announcements for in-game events and perks and stuff, and like the previous couple of years we'll probably get some kind of free skin. It's usually an M4 skin, to be fair, but we'll have to wait for an announcement on that one, but it's worth bearing in mind. Made some changes to Karakin as well, which is quite nice. So to provide a safer escape from Al-Habar, trees and stone walls have been added around the area. Trees, rocks and stone wall have been added to a set of houses located in the upper right hand of Bashara to reduce the area's vulnerability. And around Hadik Nemo, the mountain range has been smoothed out, and it's a much more gradual slope now, and it's not quite as tall, the mountain. And they've also added more topography as well to provide cover, because they felt that with the steepness and the inclination of the mountain, you had such an advantage being at the top of it than at the bottom trying to come out, which was true. We've died many times with that having been the case, and we've also had it the other way around. We've been at the top of the mountain, absolutely wrecked people trying to come out as well, because if they get stuck in there and they have to come up that hill, there's absolutely no chance, and you just get murdered. So hopefully this makes it a bit more of an even playing field. On Haven, the only additions that have been made is there's normal bots in the game, just like on every other map, to fill the lobbies, as well as the bots that are in those rooms where you can go and get crate weapons. And they've also added an option in the settings where you can adjust the map's brightness, which may well be very useful because it's a map set at night. Care package smoke will no longer be affected by colorblind modes, and it says that is because there's a new feature in a later update that's going to adjust that as well. I really hope it's not care package smoke skins. That would be ridiculous, but we will have to wait and see. They've done a lot of item spawn balancing on both Arangel and Miramar, the long and short of it is assault rifles, DMRs, sniper rifles, in terms of weapons, have all gone up. Shotguns and handguns have gone down, and scopes have gone up, and things like magazines have gone down. And very different percentages based on the map, but the general gist of it and the idea behind it is that people will no longer be getting killed because they feel like they've just had poor loot. I don't seem to think this is a big issue personally. I always, you can always get a weapon that you want. At the minute it's a little bit annoying because I'm trying to get my pump shotgun to level 100 and they've reduced the spawn rate of them, so hopefully we can still find them. But yeah, I think what they want to steer away from and not go too far is just have it like ranked where you land and immediately get the assault rifle that you want. That takes out the R&D of it, and I don't think that'll be a good way to go either, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Usually they make a lot of changes like this, the percentage is a little big and it doesn't always feel massively different anyway, but we'll have to wait and see. Next thing, there's finally a new Survivor Pass. I think the last Survivor Pass ended in like November last year, so it's been quite a good while without one, and this one's called Survivor Pass Punk Wave. We'll do a whole separate video going through all the different skins and missions and challenges and stuff like that, so keep an eye on the channel for that one when it comes out. But one change to go over here is the maximum play time to earn XP per day has gone from 6 to 8 hours, so you can play for longer and earn more XP if you're making a day of it. And then the maximum XP per day has gone from 7,200 to 9,600 as well, and that's not including obviously XP from your daily missions, which you can usually do 2 sets of, and your weekly missions. Again, like I said earlier, they've updated the main lobby for the 5th anniversary. And then they've done quite a few performance and bug fixes. I'll not go for every single one of those right now. I'll just leave a link in the description of the video so you can check those out and see if any of the bugs that have been plaguing you might have been fixed. To be honest, the biggest bugs that I've been experiencing recently is all graphical, where sometimes you'll drop out of the plane and you'll land and then there's random blue and green objects all over buildings and stuff like that. It can be really off-putting, but you can just quit out of the game and load back in and it does fix it. Obviously if it's not too bad, you probably live with it, but sometimes it is really distracting. But that's a good fix for that one. But that's it. That's everything coming in Pubg Update 16.2. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing to see more, and also come and join in on the next live screen. Have a great day. Wookie out.